bought a new amp, I'm pretty sure that it can replace every single amplifier that I have in this room as well. Oh man. This is an Engl Savage MK2. It is a 4-channel amplifier. It's more like a 2-channel amplifier with 2 switchable modes. On the front panel of the amplifier, we have a low-high input level. We have a bright switch. We have a pre-shape control, which will give you some clean boost in the top end. We have a contour control, which will bump your mids. The tone stack on channel 1 has 2 switchable mid controls. You can switch between a lean mode and a bold mode. There is a built-in noise gate that will cut out all of the noise generated by the preamp section. We also have 2 switchable presence controls, a depth boost, and then we go down to the controls for channel 3 and 4. We still have the input low-high control and the bright switch, but now we have a gain low-high control. We also have a contour knob on this channel as well. The tone stack is a little bit different here. No switchable mid channel, but we do have a tone balance knob, and this is connected to the rough smooth switch. We have the switches for the lead and crunch 2 channels. We have a right copy switch, and one of the cool things about this and other Engl amplifiers is they are MIDI switchable, and you can actually save your presets to memory. We have 2 switchable master volume controls, and then 2 switchable effects loops as well. So just a plethora of different options with this amplifier. This is actually the amp model that I use in my Axe effects when my band plays live. So it's a sound that I already knew that I really liked. I just really wanted to have the physical one here in this room with me. And like I said, with all of the different stuff that this guy does, it could probably replace pretty much every single amp that I have in this room. It's that versatile. Now, I did get a pretty good deal on this amp, but it was not had without some difficulty. I actually originally purchased the same amplifier through an eBay seller. Oh, dude, look at it. I mean, it's got a little bit of dust on it, some foam, but other than that, it is in f***ing really good condition. 26550 tubes. I'm gonna see if I can swap those out for KT88s at some point, but yeah. Oh, they lied. It's 230 volts. What the son of a And it ended up being a UK voltage amp. I'm in the US, so that didn't work out. Now you could always use a step down transformer to be able to use that amplifier, but it's just extra hassle. So I talked to some different techs about modifying it to make it a 120 volt US. Man, what a interesting last couple days. So basically, like you guys saw, I unboxed this amplifier. Thought it was gonna be a US 120 volt amplifier. It is not. If you look at the back here, you can see on this sticker, it's at 230 volts. That means it's gotta go back. I first talked to Eurotubes. Eurotubes really cool. They were really helpful. They referred me to some local amp techs. I talked to those guys. They're like, yeah, usually this isn't that big of a deal. You just need a new transformer, blah, blah, blah. Talked to Engl, and they were like, you can't convert it to 120 volts with the transformer that's inside of it. You would need a new transformer. And Engl really didn't want to sell a 120 volt transformer for whatever reason. Very cool amp to look at. I mean, it arrived in great condition. Everything was cool about it. It was just the wrong voltage. So I was going back and forth. I talked to 𝗦𝗇𝗏 transformers, and they make very expensive transformers that are like huge upgrades to normal amp transformers. But it's like a $300 transformer, probably another $100 to install it. So it's like $400. Was like dicking around on the internet, and I'm like, man, I wonder if I could just return this thing, and maybe I could find one for like roughly around the same price that I paid for it. Maybe I could just negotiate with someone. Found someone. They're up near Seattle. They're quite a ways away from me, but you know, it's not the worst drive ever. And basically, he's willing to take what I paid for this one. So I'm just gonna return this one, get my money back, and go buy that one from him tomorrow. And if you're watching, thank you, Ian. I really appreciate you driving out to meet me. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug into this amp, we're gonna dial in some different tones, go over some of the different features, but first, let's hook this guy up and listen to it in a mix. right, we have the Engl Savage 120 MK2 plugged in. Let's turn it on. This is about where I had it set the last time I played it. And you'll notice that there is a right copy knob. I will get to that here in 1 second, but basically you can save your presets in this and you can control them with MIDI. It's pretty neat. That's not anything new for Engl amplifiers. It's worth pointing out, you know, it's kind of unique amongst amplifiers in general. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this amplifier can replace 99% of amplifiers, I feel like. It has such a wide range of tones. Let's go to the clean channel here. Okay, here's my clean tone. All right, so it's a running joke on mine and other metalheads channels, like we don't do clean tones, but in seriousness, this amp does do a lot of really versatile tones here. Like we do have a clean tone that's pretty decent. Not pretty decent, it's excellent. Every tone on this amp is excellent in my opinion. And you have tons of control here. We have a pre-shape. Just gonna give you like a clean boost in the top end. We have this contour knob here, which is sort of like a bump to the mids. Speaking of mids, in the tone stack here, we have mid lean and mid bold. You can switch between them. I'm on lean right now. Let's go to bold. When we add that with the contour, we get a pretty mid heavy sound. Let's go into a high input here and crank the gain up. Which is really great if you want to do like an edge of breakup sort of thing. You can definitely get everything in between, you know, pristine cleans to sort of like a gritty sound. I mean, if we just crank the gain all the way up here, I'll turn the channel volume down a little bit to compensate. I feel like that will take on most clean and like edge of breakup amplifiers, and especially like those, you know, vintage amplifiers that are super sought after and cost thousands and thousands of dollars and are super rare. You know, you could get this and also have some fucking killer metal tones. So I'm not telling you how to live your life, I'm just saying. I do have a gate in front of this amplifier. We have a tube screamer, TS9 tube screamer. Not that we need one, but I definitely want to test it out as well. That is off currently. There is a noise gate in the amp on top of this. Let's go to a crunch channel where it makes a little bit more sense, but here's crunch 1. There's like no gate, so there's the front gate, and then if we turn on the gate inside the amplifier, literally no noise. I think all high gain amplifiers should have a noise gate built in, but that's just me. I just think it's really cool that it has one. And this tone, man, I think this will rival like any Marshall out there. I know, I'm probably ruffling your feathers right now. Sorry. You know, I've had a JCM 800 in here. I have the 8100 over there, and I know like those purists are just cringing right now. It's not a sound that I particularly vibe with, but I think this amp does it better. Like, if we turn the pre-shape and the contour off, we get something a little bit more modern. Let me explain the way the signal flow works here really quick before we get too deep into this thing. Basically, your input comes in and you have control over high and low sensitivity, and then you have a bright switch, and that works for every channel and every other setting. This applies directly to the input. And then I sort of think about this amp as a 2-channel amp with 2 switchable modes on each channel. I mean, I know it's a 4-channel amplifier, but just hear me out on this. You have channel 1 up here, and then depending on what mode you're on, you will have gain controls for clean and for crunch. The pre-shape and the contour knobs affect both the clean and the crunch channels. Then you have your tone stack here with your switchable mid mode. So you have mid lean, mid bold, and you can switch that right there. Then your clean and your crunch volume, again, depending on what mode you're in. And then that goes out here to the rest of the controls. We have 2 switchable presence controls. We have a noise gate. We have a depth boost button over there. We'll give you a lot of bit of low end. And then we have 2 switchable masters as well, and a switchable effects loop as well. It's just a feature loaded amplifier. It's kind of ridiculous. We have channel 2 down here. You have your crunch 2 and your lead modes and gain switches for both of those. And just like the channel above it, you have a gain low high switch. It's very similar to the pre-shape, but I would think like the pre-shape is more of like a clean boost, whereas the gain low high switch is more of like an extra gain stage. And then we have a contour knob here, same as the contour knob there, it will bump your mids. We have the tone stack, and then we have a rough smooth switch, which enables this tone balance knob. I will go into that in a second here. Volumes for each one of the modes, and then down into the master controls down there, the switchable presence, the switchable master, all that good stuff. Let's actually go to low output here, and then let's turn on our tube screamer. Man, if that does not sound like a boosted Marshall, I don't know what does. And again, we've only explored half the amp so far. I do have the depth knob on over there. Let me show you how much low end that will give you. I pretty much just rock this on all the time. So here's with it off. Turn it on. Pretty massive difference. I don't know how much of that will translate through a cabinet and a microphone, but definitely when you're in the room, it really fills out the low end in a really nice punchy way. You know, and we can rock the gain back on the crunch channel too, and just get really... I mean, this channel picks up where the clean channel leaves off, you know, and it just gives you like that full spectrum. And you can also get modern and vintage tones with this channel. It's just super versatile. Let's move down to channel 2 there, or 3, you know, depending on how you want to look at it. We're gonna go crunch 2. And again, you know, this is very similar to crunch 1, just a little bit of a different flavor. Maybe like a little bit more compressed, a little bit more saturated. Very articulate. Let's turn the gain way up here. Let's turn the input sensitivity on and the bright switch. Let's dial back the gain on crunch 2 here. Probably turn the gain low, high switch back to low, and let's boost it. This adds some like compression, and it's a little bit fuzzy in the high mids. Let's turn the input sensitivity down. It sounds pretty neat. Let's turn this guy back off. Let's just go to the lead channel. We'll turn those switches off. We'll put the input sensitivity back on high, and let's go to the lead sound. It's ridiculous. It's a lot of fun to play. I mean, we haven't done anything to this yet. It sounds awesome. The gain low high switch on this channel is a little bit different, and it's definitely different from the pre-shape on, you know, the clean and crunch 1 modes. It's a little bit more compressed, but it's definitely a lot fatter in the low end and the low mids. And then we have the contour switch here. It's going to bump the mids just like on the other channels. I like this a lot. And, you know, again, the gain is at halfway here. Let's turn the gain all the way up. I'll show you what that does. Now, when you turn the gain all the way up, it does give the noise gate a really hard time. It makes it very hard to clamp down on, but we'll roll with it. Let's turn the gain down here to about 10 o'clock. I mean, it sounds kind of good either way. Very hard to make this amp sound bad. Turn on the tube screamer and see what that does to it. Sounds good with that too, man. I don't think it's necessarily needed, but if you really want that push in front of the amp, you know, that like really kind of like compresses your notes and makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to dig in as hard. It's not necessary, but it doesn't mean you can't use one. If you like boosting things, by all means, boost this amplifier. It sounds terrific. You know, I would like to go over all of this stuff in detail, but it would make like a 2-hour-long video because look at all the switches, man. There's a ton of them. They do a lot of stuff and like they kind of interact with each other in a lot of unique ways. So I'm just trying to get as much of this in a video as I can without it being just way too long. Here's the rough smooth switch. I don't notice this tone balance knob doing much. If anyone out there has an Engl Savage and you have a different experience with the tone balance knob, or I'm using it incorrectly, please let me know. You know, it's like, it might be like kind of making the mids a little bit narrower or wider. It almost sounds like what the smooth knob does is sort of like band pass the signal and just make it very mid heavy. And then maybe this tone balance knob is just like changing the drop off of that band pass or something. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's very, very subtle. And this is something I would switch over to Presence B and have the presence bumped up. All right, if you guys have made it this far, thank you so much. If you like this video, make sure to do all the things, you know what to do. If you would like to see something on this channel, let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.